Welcome into Battle of Alberta Banter. We got me, Cam Lewis. I'm the host. I'm the impartial guy here. I'm not a fan. That's my role. We got Printzy. He's from Calgary. He's a Flames fan. We got Wanye. He's from Edmonton. He's an Oilers fan. That was, without a word of a lie, a ridiculous game. I'm not going to lie.
That's
When I
one
saw
of the craziest Oilers games of all time in
yes.
terms of its importance. When we were down 2-0, Princey, I consider myself quite an optimist. I was like, we are fucked. We are going home down 2-0. It is game motherfucking over. And I'm tweeting positivity and I'm lying to people in my mind. And then, wowee.
I know. You got to believe.
I had the same feeling. I was at the Saddle Dome. If you can't tell, my voice is a little raspy today, but I was at the Saddle Dome last night. Same thing, guys. Same thing. The 1-0 goal. Okay, cool. 1-0. We'll hang on to that. Boom, another one. And I'm like, this thing is done. I'm like,
you thought you
done.
had it, eh?
I thought it was done. I'm like, we got 2 games done at home. You know, if they take one up in Edmonton, you can come close it back in 5. But that's not how the Calgary Flames operate.
We were this close to being.
I know, man. That's not how the Calgary Flames operate.
Confident when they went up 2-0.
Very confident. Yeah, very confident. The beers were flowing, boys. But then
you're crying some tears of joy as the second you went up 2-0 in game 2 of a 7-game series.
At home,
crying tears of joy. This thing's wrapped up. But there's some interesting stats here. So this is a huge win for the Oilers because teams who go up 2-0 in a series win the series 86.7% of the time historically. So the Flames have won this game and they go up 2-0. It's hard to imagine the Oilers coming back. You're one of the 13% of teams that do so. But in the Oilers' perspective, if you're the team on the road in the 7-game series and you win the second game to make it 1-1, you then go on to win 52.2% of the time. So the Oilers are now the more likely team to win this series because of that win in game 2. It was like a 30% shift in likelihood. It's seismic.
I keep thinking of what you said last game, Princey, how the Oilers are renowned for starting off like biblically poorly and then getting better as the game goes on, and the Flames are inverted. By that math, we're always going to be better than you for the last 10 minutes of the game.
I know. I hate that stat. I hate it, man. I would way rather have the Oilers one of starting out terrible and then getting into a groove for sure. Like I can't quite put my finger on it why Calgary does that. Jacob Markstrom has to be their best player for a game. Like he has to. Like I don't know what is going on with him. Not that I'm saying that a lot of these goals were bad. Like the 4-3 and the 5-3 one, very nice goals. The Hyman bar down one was very nice. But Markstrom's got to have some of those, man. Like this is how you're gonna win in the playoffs, and he's not doing it.
And by the same token, like Mike Smith starting the games by going for a skate, like just stay in your net, buddy. Like he almost has to play embarrassed, looking for revenge to be good. Like it can never be like, hey, Mike Smith, you're a good goalie. He's like, thanks, here's a shutout. It's like, Mike Smith, you're the biggest piece of shit on earth and you need to retire. I'll fucking show you. Next thing you know, he wins the heart.
We knew that was going to happen though. Like after the kind of egg that he laid in game 1, he comes in and he's out in 6 minutes. The Flames scored 3 goals in 13 seconds. And we were
backed it up with even worse hockey, arguably in game 2, just didn't get the yank.
Yeah, he came through that time, and he got better as time went along too. So like that's what
it was probably a good move not to yank him that quick. It obviously paid off properly by not yanking him. But I think if you would have yanked him, he would have been probably pissed. Now you're talking about switching to Koskinen for game 3. So I think it was they rolled the dice, but it was a good move.
Prior to game starting, I found a super deep cut French tweet from some European dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Koskinen's committed to playing in Europe.
I saw that. I did. I saw that. Yeah.
That's not a vibe you need going into a long run.
So what are they just not going to play?
Apparently he's inked a deal with a team in Switzerland. The source was the first one that came out was like a Swiss newspaper sports website, and the second source was Bob Hartley, former coach that you know very well.
He's in Switzerland working for their national team, right?
Yeah, something like that. He's coaching in the KHL as his main gig, but I think he does something with the Swiss national team. So he knows, like, Bob Hartley's not going to lie randomly. Mikko Koskinen has a contract in the NLA. That's never going to happen. So it's probably true, but
oh my God. So let's look at Mikko Koskinen's life. This is very off topic for a Battle of Alberta.
That's good.
Like, as an Oilers fan, there's one tiny little fly in the ointment. I'm like, well, yeah, but what about the Finnish goalie we don't want, not wanting to play here right now? Like, you're really going to complain about that? He comes to Edmonton, signs just a massive deal, and then it retires to Switzerland where he can keep it all in gold bars.
That's crazy.
So
We're doing
that's
a page one rewrite in net, no matter which way this season goes next year. It is a whole new.
So that's another narrative to think about, is like a lot of people have called for Koskinen to come into the series in place of Smith. Like Smith had the flub in game one against the Kings. He was bad again in game one against the Flames. People are saying use Koskinen here. He wasn't terrible in relief in game one, but
you just got next year he's going to be suiting up for Roberto Luongo in Switzerland or some shit. I don't think this is the guy you want to lead with in game 3 and 4.
So I think we have to confidently say Mike Smith's the guy the rest of the way. So what I want to ask you guys now is, just like we did last time, is what did you like about your team's game in game 2 and what did you not like? Printzy, since I'll let you go first last time, so you can go first again.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, we kind of ripped it at the start, but I like that they come out and they come out hard. It's just they just have to keep their foot on the gas. Like, I don't know why they can't do that. Like, they come out hard, they play hard. I mean, I just can't, guys. I cannot put my foot on why this team.
That's right. You can't. You can't figure it out with your logic.
I can't destiny. I cannot figure out why this team can't just take their foot off the gas. Just can't play defensively. But I like their starts, man. Like, if you come out in Edmonton and you put up a 2-0, a 2-0 lead in Edmonton in the first 5 minutes, maybe you shift back to defensively. Obviously, I'm gonna go the complete opposite of what I said of what they like. Is I just dislike about. They just can't finish the game, man. Like, their defense was slow last night. I was very, very evident that Nikita Zadorov and Michael Stone just got abused by Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman. I mean, give props to Mike Smith on the Draisaitl goal. He was the one that shot the puck up the boards, and
best first pass of the game.
Yeah, I had a clear view of it right.
We look for our goalies up here. They need to be really old and have a good outlet pass. Then we'll sign you long term.
Yeah, but I had a clear view of it, and as soon as Draisaitl caught the puck in stride, and I saw Zadorov try to turn, I was like, "This is a goal." And Draisaitl was at the red line I was like, "This is a goal." Like, Draisaitl is flying. So I like how the Flames are coming out. I like how they're coming out. They're playing hard. They can't take their foot off the gas, and especially in Edmonton, you cannot do that. If you get a lead in Edmonton, hang on to that lead.
If you told me that the Oilers were going to be down 2-0 in game 2 and have 2 goals disallowed, I would have dug my own grave and gotten in, covered it up myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the disallowed goals too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm piecing back.
And that one was a shady as fuck disallowed goal. Too.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And
even Ron McLean, the king of the referees.
Yeah. The Oilers had the 2 disallowed ones. I don't think the Calgary had like that actual review disallowed one. But I think
that was called immediately.
It was called immediately off, and I probably shouldn't have been. So,
what was the vibe like in the stadium when that one was called off? Were people pissed?
Yeah, people were pissed because that was kind of the turning point of the game. Because would that goal have tied it? I think it might have tied it 4-4.
I think it was after Hyman scored the shorty. So that
would have tied it 4-4, and the building just erupted because they saw the puck go in the net. And it was too loud to hear the puck. So that was kind of what killed the arena right there. You're gonna get that vibe of, okay, goal call back 4-3 late in the game. That's not looking good.
Wanya, what do you think? What'd you like about the Oilers? What do you think? What changed?
Yeah, go on. What did you like about the Oilers, Printzy?
I thought they came out and they stuck to their game plan. Whatever, going down 0-2, it's not the easiest thing in the world just to turn it up like that. Like I said before, I like that they stuck with Mike Smith instead of just pulling him. I think pulling him would have been a bad move, and like I said, that would have shifted the tone of the series, because then you got guys like us on our show today talking about, it's Koskinen now. Now you don't have to talk about
already got 1 foot out the door. Like, it's me, boys.
He's already got his flight booked to Davos. He's
looking for a penthouse apartment in Zurich.
I mean, at the end of the day, McDavid and Draisaitl, to me, they played outstanding, and that's what the Oilers had to lean on. You need those guys to win you games. That's why they're 2 of the best players in the world, and they can single-handedly win you games. And I'm not going to say they single-handedly did it last night, but they were big contributing factors on why this team has success. And Calgary just needs to go back to the drawing board and find a way to shut them down, because
Leon being this effective with a high ankle sprain is just
I know.
Marvel of.
And what's up with Darnell? I heard he's someone, I think it might have been Frank, said that he's more hurt than Leon is.
He's got an injury that requires surgery in the
He's got to get core muscle surgery. which
So
doesn't
as long-
sound like something
when he-
I'd ever want to do in my life.
he keeps playing, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Like that's like Calgary right now. I don't know the full extent of the interview the injury with Chris Tanev. So they're sitting him out right
That's
now
tough.
to maybe stop that. Like, is Tanev the guy that's going to come in and make sure that McDavid and Draisaitl don't score 3 goals a night?
Maybe
Probably not, but
he might be their best bet.
exactly. It's a good bet to do that. So I'm not saying that having Tanev out is the reason why the Flames are losing, but it's a big factor. It's having probably your number one defensive defenseman out and against 2 of the best players in the world.
Printzy's sounding a little bit nervous, and I want to hear from Wanye about the Oilers. What do you think they did well? And then after
full
that,
disclosure, I'm sitting here at Wanye Manor, the palatial Wanye Manor, and Wanye Jr., who's supposed to be having a nap, has escaped somehow from his room and is climbing up the stairs. He's a toddler, and he's strolling up here going, uh-oh. So there'll be a little bit of a moment here, I think. What did I like about the game last night from the Oilers' perspective is just, even though you're down, come here, buddy, come on in. Even though you're down 2-0, how on earth do you have the presence of mind to come back? Like, it just blows my mind. I thought we were absolutely screwed. A team that resilient, they could go deep.
Yeah, I know. It's like nobody here predicted that this series was going to go 4 or 5 for either Flames or Oilers. So,
what do you think, Printzy? Are you going to win?
I still think the Flames are going to win, but I just think it's not going to be in 5 or 6. And
it's going to be a roller coaster, right?
It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. And so here's my prediction: is I think that they're going to split up in Edmonton too. I think Edmonton's probably going to win game 3, and then Calgary's going to come back and win game 4. Yeah, I do. I just think
reasonable.
We're going to go up 2-1.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to go up 2-1, but then
it's going to be just like the Kings series, right? The Oilers came out and crapped their pants in game 1, and then they were so much better in 2 and 3, and then they thought they were amazing. So in game 4, they nailed it in.
You're gonna have the crowd on your side too, like that. I'm coming up to Edmonton, boys, and I'm going to game 3. Yeah. I don't know what jersey I'm gonna wear. I'm a little worried, but the crowd's gonna be. Might wear my Rhett Warner in the background here, but the crowd's gonna be very overwhelming.
Oh, I'm like, if Calgary. You're Guy Incognito and you're wearing an Oilers jersey, I'll be like, that's Printzy. He's a liar. He has a
you know what you should do?
My Oilers Nation hoodie.
You should wear an Oilers jersey. Just get one from someone.
And wear a Milan Lucic Oilers jersey unironically.
No. What you have to do, wear an Oilers jersey and then have a Flames jersey, like a Milan Lucic Flames underneath. And when the Flames score their first goal, if they do, take that jersey
rip it off. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I don't have my James Neal Calgary Flames jersey to wear.
Oh, that's a good one.
My Stockton Heat James Neal jersey that I wear.
Yeah, exactly.
So what else do we have to talk about? We've got Wanye Jr. here in the
family affair here, gang.
Giving some comments on the Oilers.
Oh my goodness, he's pumped.
Also, another thing I kind of wanted to bring up is it feels like the series is heating up pretty quickly. Like there was a ton of penalty minutes. You got like roughing and sportsmanlike, roughing and sportsmanlike, and sportsmanlike, lots of unsportsmanlike, lots of roughing, lots of cross-checking. At what point is this series going to explode, and what's it going to be? Like, who's going to have done what?
Well, it might be another Flame taking a liberty on McDavid. If that happens again, like, I don't think you can stand for that. Like, that hit that Lucic delivered in game 1, it was late, but it definitely wasn't dirty or anything like that. But who on the Flames is going to take a liberty on Draisaitl or McDavid? And then somebody on the Oilers is not going to stand for it, and that's when it's going to go. Like, you can take runs at Tkachuk all night, but every team does that. It's nothing special. But we had Evander Kane popping off in the media saying, well, if they're going to go after our star players, and then we're going to go after their star players. Then Lucic responded and said, well, you're not that tough to play against on the ice. So I think it's more going out in the media. So
who do we think is the tougher team here?
Oh, Calgary.
I'll let Wanye answer that one first.
Well, I think that Calgary's tougher. We have more skill. I think.
I was going to say, if you compare speed, then we're not even close.
Even though you've got the 304-point line or whatever preposterous nonsense that is.
Yeah, Calgary's probably definitely more tougher, bigger, but they're slower. That's
better D than we do.
That's the trade-off, man. If you're going to be big and tough, then you're slow, right? Like it was proved last night. Nikita Zadorov is a 6'5" big Russian defenseman who will punish you in the corners and cross-check you. But Draisaitl also ripped by him like it was nobody's business. So
with a high ankle sprain to boot.
With a high ankle sprain.
That's completely broken Leon Draisaitl just ripped by on one leg.
Yeah,
it's like coming by on a scooter.
I think Calgary has more guys that are going to finish their checks, but Edmonton has more guys that are going to finish their chances.
Ooh, that's well said.
Mm-hmm.
That is well said.
Soundbite. I'd listen to this podcast.
We're pretty insightful, I think.
Yeah, very good. But boys, I will be, like I said, I'll be up in Edmonton. Wani, I don't know if you're going to anything, but I'll be up in Edmonton on hanging with the nation crew.
I won't have a wink of sleep between now and then, if that's what you're wondering. I just lie in bed and hear the Hockey Night in Canada theme over and over and over until I decide to get up in the morning.
I'm looking forward to it, guys. What can I expect in Rogers? Like, I went to the Jay and the crew. They were nice enough to take me to the final game, the Oilers and Canucks, and Jay wanted me to wear my Flames jersey, and I refused to do that. But
well, that's strange.
The atmosphere in the building, it was the last game of the year. McDavid and Draisaitl were sad, so I got the vibe, but I didn't quite get what it's like. So what's it gonna be like?
Turned up, man. This is gonna be off the chain.
Yeah. When there's Flames Oilers games, like I can't say it was 50-50 last night, but there was a heavy Oilers contingent in Calgary last night.
Really? I feel like more Oilers fans go to Flames games than
that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. No, people in Calgary don't like coming to Edmonton, but
like 65-35 maybe, but like, and they're all
like, oh, I don't know. I could go to Edmonton or I could go to Vail, Colorado in my Infinity Coupe. You're not welcome up here, Calgary. You're red.
I was just wondering if I'm gonna have any backup in Edmonton. It doesn't sound like much though.
As somebody who's been in several altercations in the Saddle Dome, I experience that you'll always have backup. You people seem to travel in packs.
I think
especially for the playoffs.
I also don't think. I think the rivalry is enough. There's like enough of a mutual understanding that people are just happy that it's happening. I don't think you're going to get into an issue unless you're being an ass. Yeah. I don't think you're going to be an ass knowing you. You're pretty reasonable.
No, I won't. I'll be with, and I'm with all the OilersNation crew.
Now, if we get shelled and it's 9-1 and you're doing like a happy jig in the concourse.
Yeah, no, I'm smart enough. I'm smart enough to know.
Then everyone from the staff are going to start roughing you up.
I went to a New Year's game once in Calgary and we lost as usual. And people were pelting me with French fries in the stands. And I was like standing up and challenging anyone who wanted to fight. They didn't want to fight. They just wanted to throw French fries.
I will say that I was right in front of the Oilers bench last night, and a very smart Flames fan, he took a bunch of them, must have been American dollar bills, and he leaned over the glass and dropped them on Evander Kane.
Shut up.
I know, and I fumbled with my phone and I couldn't get the camera, but then security, they had him out like that. Like grabbed him and threw him out. Yeah.
Shockingly disrespectful.
I know, some kid too. Yeah, he just sprinkled a bunch of $1.
How old is this kid?
Probably in his early 20s, I would say.
Wow,
like he definitely didn't look like he could name the 04 roster. That's for
only one city in the league has that kind of disposable income to be throwing actual.
I know. I'm like, come on, the $12 beers, and you're throwing dollars on Evander Kane.
You do that up here. It's just Canadian Tire money we're throwing. We don't want to waste the money.
Canadian Tire money.
We don't want to waste real money.
That's good.
Damn. Good. Well, it's an honor going through this with you boys. This is really.
This is actually really
the happiness in Edmonton.
Yeah, this is actually fun to do, guys. So I know, like I said in the first podcast, guys, there's winners. Calgary won game 2, Calgary won game 1, Edmonton won game 2, but Alberta
won game 3. Continue, yes.
Fair enough. I did say that Edmonton won game 3, Calgary won game 4, but Alberta continues to win this entire series. It's just I don't know what's like up in Edmonton, but it was, even after a loss, the Red Mile was still fun to be at last night.
It was so monumental that we met in the playoffs that the Premier stepped down. Think about that.
I know.
First time in 31 years, he's like, I'm no longer in charge. The hockey's
He lost a full term.
Yeah, half hour before puck drop too.
Damn, what a battle of Alberta.
Pretty exciting stuff. So predictions for game 3. Printzy's already said he thinks the Oilers are going to win 1. What do you think?
I would be remiss if I thought anybody with the Oilers were winning this motherfucker.
And nobody's asking me, but I think the Oilers are going to win as well.
I wouldn't be
obviously
surprised.
As the impartial host who started this thing by saying he doesn't even like the Oilers. I don't know who the fuck I'm talking to.
I didn't say that. I said I was impartial.
I'm Cam. I'm neutral.
I'm neutral. I'm a hockey guy.
Like neutral, like the vodka soda drink available at liquor stores? No, neutral in the series. Like, I don't even know what to make with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
surprised. Who do you think's going to win, Coom? The mighty Oil?
The Oilers are going to win game 3.
I would not be surprised if they come out and overwhelm Calgary a little bit. And the crowd overwhelms them. They get a little behind, and then Calgary settles in and then figures it out for game 4.
Brady Tkachuk better not bring his little beer drinking ass up here. He's going to get high-fived about 1,000,000 times.
Do you think the Flames could get away with just putting Brady Tkachuk in like Brett Ritchie's jersey? Have him wear that gear and that guy's stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe wear like a tinted
I
visor.
guess before we wrap this up, guys, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this because it's kind of been a back and forth topic in Calgary. Half the people are loving it. I'm one of them that thinks it's awesome, and like he's there supporting his brother. And we got a lot of people tweeting out and stuff saying like, why is the Ottawa Senators captain, walking around wearing Flames stuff,
Oh my God.
chugging beers, repping the Flames, doing
It's
this,
fun.
doing that. Like it's not a joke. Half people I was talking
Yeah,
about
oh, yeah.
talking about it with Frank Saravelli too, and he was like, I don't get it. Like I don't.
Oh, shut up, Frankie, a Philly hard-nosed Scrabble. I think
Big
it's
Daddy.
great. I think it's also hilarious that Keith Tkachuk is wearing his daughter's collegiate uniform
Yeah, I
here,
know.
and
Yeah.
like he's all in on all his kids, right?
Yeah.
The fact, as Flames fans, the fact that it should be Ottawa fans saying, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I know.
Flames fans, you should be like,
I know.
"Hey."
I know exactly. I don't know. I think it's good. Like he's
I
at the
think
end
it's
of the day,
fantastic.
he's supporting his brother. He's not supporting the
Yes.
Flames. He's supporting his brother. That's what it is. And yeah, I did bump into him last night in the lower bowls of the.
You did?
Saddle. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw him last night. Yeah. You check Flames Nation. There's a video up on Flames Nation of me
No.
video. He was at the bar. Right. It was at the same bar that I was at before he went. So yeah.
Come
I
on.
saw him. Yeah. And like he signed autographs and took
Talk to
pictures
him?
for yeah, really briefly, really quickly. I mean,
Wow, Prince, you got balls of steel.
I know, boys. You're gonna learn about me. Like I said, I mentioned before, I'm still part of the Missing Curfew podcast, and he's a big fan of Missing Curfew, and he's been on 3 or 4 times now. So
No shit.
he knows us quite well. And but yeah, like I said, he signed autographs for a full hour and talked to fans, and so he's doing the right thing.
It's a positive thing for the game, all told.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you have a problem with this, then you don't
Yeah,
really
well,
understand
what's the second most trending thing on Twitter next to the Battle of Alberta?
It's
Brady
fun to
Tkachuk.
see. Yeah, it's funny. It's cool. Like it's endearing. I'm like, it's nice to see this guy
I
cheering for his
wouldn't
brother.
doubt, especially now that Budweiser signed him, that well, I guess what's Edmonton, Molson Canadian, yeah, because Calgary's a Bud arena, but I wouldn't doubt that you see him up in Edmonton.
With 10 bodyguards.
And I don't
beating
think
guys up in the street. Brady
I think
Tkachuk.
Oiler fans would like friendly chirp him. I don't think any
Yeah.
Oiler fan would.
It
go up
depends
to
on the
him.
game, man. If
Yeah,
something happens in the game, like all of a sudden the crowd turns and like God forbid there's an injury or a really bad penalty or something, it can get dark quick. We
Or
don't have a lot going on.
if Matt does something fuck too, right? Like if Matthew
I guess so
Tkachuk's
too.
done
Yeah.
a handful of things to piss the Oilers and the fans off.
Oh, really?
He does
Yeah.
something fuck.
I've been to a game dressed as a mascot turtle with 3 other Tkachuk turtles, and we were having the time of our lives. It was all fun and games. Had things turned left, those turtles would have been swinging on people.
That's good. That's
This
good
is
stuff.
always a possibility.
never know.
The whole storyline could take quite the turn.
Like I never make plans after the games to go out until to see how the game dictates, because I know that like if the game goes poorly, you do not want to hang out with me after. This is not a joke. This is real life.
I'd still hang out with you though.
Oh, you're a nice guy. I hang out with you. But if you were like, "Oh, I'm so happy the Flames won," I'd be like, "Wow, that's a shame. There's a murder about to occur."
Well, that's that. We got game 3 in Edmonton on Sunday, and then we'll be back on Monday, right? Everyone's ready to chat again on Monday.
I will. I'll be calling in from Nation head office on Monday. So
Victoria Day, that doesn't mean anything to hockey fans.
yeah, I was gonna say that's not a day off.
I don't celebrate the British monarch.
All right, gang. Well, go Oilers.
Yeah,
Best wishes.
Go Flames.
Ugh. Wait, I'm impartial. Sorry, fuck, that wasn't
get
me.
out.
Right.
What the hell?